Boom, guys, welcome to paper 2 part 2 video recording. The video is too long, so I'm trying got to put it all together. Welcome, guys. Okay, for paper 2 part 2, sales of HDB flats. What is a HDB? HDB role is actually to make affordable quality housing, vibrant town and community. I want to go through that. The size of size of HDB is not important. However, do take note on the right side, underlined here that under HDB Act, provision of sales under the first 5 years of MOP, no unauthorized subletting. HDB cannot be used as a security or collateral to other debts or finance property. HDB can acquire compulsorily if you break any HDB law and provisions such as giving fake information, payment, on possession. HUDC I will not go through because it does not comply much anymore. It does not have anymore in Singapore. I will go through things that are relevant in Singapore. So type of HDB housing, public housing, rental house, new house, resale flat, DBSS and EC that are available by the government now, by HDB itself. So BTO are brand new housing located all around the places. There are all types, 2-room, flexi, 3, 4, 5-room, EC and 3 gens. For EC is a standard process of new housing. I will not go through too much because EC is done with HDB. You need to know the process, but I will not go through every single detail. Pause my video, read out your own notes, do your own notes up, okay? All this can be found on the HDB website or process of HDB, okay? So for the EC, executive condominiums, it is meant for high net worth. The income ceiling is 16,000 compared to other HDB is 14,000. It is designed and done by private condominiums. However, it is developed and sold by private developers supported by government. DBSS, there was a period that DBSS was in fact it was developed by private developers, but DBSS is not that common anymore. I want to go through. So for the process, any buyers who withdraw their application have to meet a 1-year period from the date of cancellation to reapply for a BTO, EC or resale with grant, okay? No selection of flags also have to wait out for 1 year lah. So any divorcee within the next 3 years must only one party can own a property or both must sell under based on the act. Read out yourself, guys. I'm gonna go through all these things. I will tell you what to read up and where you should read up, or you can pause and copy my notes over here. Pause and copy my notes. I will not go through every single thing because I'm rushing. So the priorities, who can afford okay, all these might not be tested lah. I have never seen all this inside my test, balloting, whatever. The priority schemes are not really important. Okay, guys, this is very, very important. Eligibility schemes for BTO and resale, which are the information such as new flats, public scheme, fair fiancé scheme, single citizen scheme, orphanage scheme, joint scheme, non-citizen scheme. And there is one new one, it's called the number 7, which is under the Fresh Start Housing Scheme, really under HDB flats. I will not go through every single detail over here. For the resale flats, there are private scheme, fiancé scheme, single citizen scheme, orphanage scheme, joint single scheme, non-Singapore citizen spouse scheme, and non-citizen family scheme, conversion scheme. All this, you should have all this information inside your note already, provided by your school. So I want to go through every single scheme. Please take note: public scheme, family scheme, single citizen scheme. What are the differences? What are the common things? What is for the brand new? What for resale? Okay. I want to go through every single thing. Okay, or this part. What are the eligibility condition for all the different scheme, private property, everything. If you find my notes are very complicated, very confused, very compact, read up on the HDB website. I tell you, go HDB. HDB website have every single thing. So for EC owners going back to buy another BTO or new EC, you have to fulfill the 5 years MOP. After that, a 30 months waiting out period. You're not allowed to reapply right away for EC owners. BTOs owners, after the 5 years MOP, you can apply a second BTO. But for EC owners, no, you have to wait for another 30 months. So it's a 7.5 months, right? So condition to buy a BTO, read it up yourself. I wanna go through. I'll give you a second to copy and paste to read up. All these are in your notes. Okay, for this part, the citizen top up grant, the minimum MOP, rental of housing, resale levy, all this will be inside. CDBSS. Okay guys, for 2 room flexi, do take note there are 2 way. One is the long term lease, 99 years lease, one is the short term lease for the elderlies. Do take note that there's a table here I created to divide it up. So do take note of the short term lease a lot, because the short term lease are for the elderlies for retirement purpose. So what are the terms and conditions, what are the age group, who are they the lease must lease out to, what's the maximum salary income, who are able to pay, and what other things action you must remove it. Okay. So for the usage of CPF, 55 years old above, there will be a retirement account. This is under the CPF Act, everything. Go follow up. I'm not going to go through it. Eligibility for buying EC, read up on online. I'm not going to go through it. What are the grants eligible for EC is over here. I written it down. Go read up yourself. What kind of grants they can get. It's definitely lesser than the HDB. Okay. So condition to buy a resale flat. I'm not going through this. Take note of the proximity grant for 20 and 30,000 within the 4 km and with the parents, and all singles will be half compared to the double 2. Buying sale, remember market, MOP of 5 years can never be changed. The ethic, this ethic when you're in work is easy for you, you can check it on HDB map website, but for the exam purpose, to remember the table, remember this table down. Okay guys, a minute. Do remember this table. Must be remembered by every single one of you. For the Singaporean PR check, also do take note. This must be written. Remember and understand it, how it works. For HDB resale process, for seller 6 steps and buyer 9 steps. Do remember the differences. Where are the differences? Every single step must be remembered. These 6 steps must be remembered, and all the 9 steps. The 9 steps will be here. So underlining the differences, what the buyers need to do to exercise the OTP, choose the mode of financing, and request valuation from HDB. There's the additional 3 steps compared to the seller lah. I'm not going through all this lah. All this you should be an expert in it. I'm going through very fast on the part 2 because there are too many information for HDB resale. Guys, HDB resale will be 50% of your exam for understanding. 50%. So do take note. So once you get the in principle approval for resale, it's considered that your resale approval have been approved. So you need to submit the grants and documents to be endorsed right away after the approval is given. Okay. So once the completion of resale, both must submit the completion. Both buyer and seller are required to attend a appointment, one appointment, unless they have a POA to represent them at the HDB that day. So seller's responsibility is to rectify any unauthorized renovation, and rectify any problem with HDB, terminate gyro, pay all the tax, and accelerate up to the date of sales completion. Provide vacant possession for the buyer. So buyer, please inspect the house and pay the balance of it to the owners via cash order or nets. Okay. Completion of date must be provided, all the payment, value of insurance, fire insurance, all these guys you should be able to have the notes yourself. I will not go through it anymore. Delivery of a vacant possession must be done on the day before completion by the seller. Okay. For seller must give the buyer a vacant possession and the keys to the house on the day of completion. Cancellation of any resale application done for any reason, please read up yourself. I will not go through. OTP only available for HDB resale flags. Okay, the HDB, but however for resale, this OTP period is valid for 21 days. To take note, this is the only one with 21 days. Okay, OTP fee, take note. Standard practice not exceeding 1,000, deposit of 5,000. OTP period up to 21 days, and the expiry will be on the last day 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Okay guys, the procedure of entering the binding contract via OTP. Once the OTP is signed, OTP will be the binding contract. Binding for both player once OTP is exercised. So I will not go through this anymore. SMP is for building under construction. OTP is for resale flat. Those are the binding contracts. So valuation of flat will be done by the buyer. Once there's an intention, buyer will have to pay for the HDB valuators to go down to valuate the house and to give the valuation for the loan. So submitting valuation request, buyer have to submit it after OTP granted. You have to submit it online or agent can do it for them. Please provide the address, the buyer's IC name, a requested email, and OTP details lah. You must show them the OTP details. Then a copy will be given and the owner, flat owner's information. Bankruptcy Act, please go read out on it. I'm not going to go through it. It's not vast. HDB is not vasted by OA. But however, anything above 500k must have an OA approval. Anything below 500k don't need. So for Singapore PR, require OA consent if they're going to sell or grant their OTP if they're bankrupt. Divorcee, guys, go read up yourself. I'm not going to go through too many things really. So they must have a jurisdiction act or court order lah to exercise it. Then but if they are selling before OTP can be done, however court order must be given. So if there's no child, they must sell away the property. If there's a child, they can retain it depending whoever have the care and control. Okay, care and control is very important to read it out yourself. If within the MOP, both parties cannot retain house lah, must sell it lah, and determined by HDB. So for anyone who's deceased, there's no delay more than 3 months. No more than 3 months. Administrator executor will exercise the will or grant of possession or in the letter of administration based on what and how the action will be done. Please proceed. Any temporary extension for the sellers is up to 3 months, and the sellers have to pay rental to the buyers. The MOP will start after the extension for the buyers. Okay, will not be not from the completion date, but buyers, because the completion date will be done. So after that, buyers have to inform HDB on the completion, the end of extension. Okay, so buyer will still have to pay for the installment, but however the sellers will have to pay off the house like a rental fee or extension fee. So administration fee and submission fee for extension of pay submitted to HDB, administration fee of $20 but done by seller. The former there will be a monetary compensation. It's a private agreement. This one don't need to pay off to government. So once termination of extension fee, after 3 months automatic terminator, buyer have to inform if any limitation, so to compute the MOP from the date the termination of extension. So HDB as a security, HDB does not allow any owner to use it as a collateral or security for a loan. Lease buyback ever tested on my exam in the late 2021. So lease buyback, please read up your notes. I will not read. Please go to HDB website and read up. Okay, lease buyback and silver lease bonus. The grant, how is it act, what is it done with, what's the restriction, please read it out yourself. I will not go through this. So silver housing bonus is also similar to it, but right sizing for retirees. These have been tested also. Go read it out yourself. And the last one will be the fresh start housing grid list. This is the very new one. This is a very new one. This one. Please read it out yourself. I will not go through it. So HDB upgrading program, now we are all aware is the HIP program, which we touching out on the improvement payable by the owner itself. Read it out yourself. I will not go through. Right sizing, second housing, one owner only will have 2 HDB loan in their life. They are not allowed to take a third one unless otherwise special cases. Listing of private property, not more than 6 packs. Okay, both private HDB property. Minimum property lease of 6 months or 3 months. HDB for 6 months, private for 3 months. For RES, your rules and responsibility. The landlord RES, please check the validity of the tenant, ownership of the landlord, the TA, prepare TA and investigation list. For the tenant RES, please check the please prepare LOI, check the validity of your tenant passes and stamp the TA, okay? And apply for utility lah if it's a brand new house. So calculation for the TA stamp duty is very simple. Mostly just remember this. I would recommend that no more than must be more than 4 months. Guys, for paper 2, do not focus too much on calculation, okay? You just need to remember this 0.4 of the total rent. Most likely it's only this calculation you need. Do not go remember what more than 4 years. Very seldom this case is realistic. So LOI does not bound the landlord or tenant. Only once acceptance of when signing off the TA, tenancy agreement, that's the binding contract for both. You should be expert in these things. So any subletting of HDB room or whole units must have HDB approval. Okay, anyone are not allowed to sublet the whole unit within the first 5 years. Room SPR not allowed to sublet their unit at all. So for all the regulations of subletting, please read up the HDB rule. I'm not going to go through. And subletting, please go through the non-citizen quota and if subletting rooms and units, who can sublet and how many people you can sublet. Okay. HDB minimum 6 months. Private minimum 3 months. Subletting, tenant, Singaporean, pass, who can, who cannot. Go read that yourself. I'm not going to go through. You see, 6 months, Singaporean, maximum lease for Singaporean and Malaysians is 3 years. For non-Malaysian citizens, PR, non-citizens and non-Malaysians is maximum 2 years. There you should have your own notes that your lecturer is providing you, because I'm a revision. I am not a full course. I will not go through every single thing. So any application, $20 fee to pay to HDB application. You need HDB approval before subletting, okay? There's no further sublet after subletting for HDB housing. It's illegal to further sublet. Okay, after you have rented out, your tenant are not allowed to sublet. If those you did it, you are actually illegal doing it. So those who are not in Singapore, you can appoint someone on the POA to help you manage and renting out your houses. Subletting of room is only 3 room and above. Okay, room subletting is only 3 room and above. Take note. So failure to register this sublet considered unauthorized. So HDB can fine you or take back the house. They don't care. There are people who take it back. So home office, read out yourself which is allowed, which is not allowed, how many people are allowed, how many people not allowed. What kind of business activity allowed under home office, read out yourself. Regulation, Acts, safety requirement, please read up. What kind of mode of business, what kind of number of tenancy, please read out yourself. It's all under HDB Act. Even home-based small-scale business scheme is also under HDB website. What is allowed or not? There should be in your notes also. So permissible business allowed in her home. Foreign worker housing is tested also. Guys, please read out yourself. I will not go through it. Okay. There are too many acts inside this. I don't think I want to go through this. This one will be tested tested quite a lot. So I will go to the more important parts such as tax. Tax are all very important. So I'm going out, guys, so I will have a limited time. Give me a minute to check my appointment, my time, because I don't have much time. This paper 2, my recording is 2 hours plus, which is too ridiculous long. So I will go very fast. So for tax on property, first will be the stamp duty acts. All sales of property must have stamp duty, including list of property, residential property. All transaction, all must be stamped. Anything not stamped cannot be enforced. Okay, it's a tax on dutiable return property. Must be stamped. All stamp duty for all transacted relating to real estate. So any real estate must be stamped. Those who are not eligible are service contract or non-related to property, or those POA, LPOA, appointment of trustee are not related. So our appointment between us and the landlord or us as a clients, right, are not stamp duty, only related to real estate duty. It must be stamped within 14 days. for both all properties. Anyway, so it also must be stamped when HDB give you the in principle approval for 14 days. Late payment, there will be a charge of $10 minimum or $25 after 3 months of penalty amount 4 times up to 4 times Read out yourself about the differences. I'll go down straight further. So guys, don't bother to remember. Just remember that the buyer stamp duty is 1, 2, 3, 4 for residential property. Non-residential is 1. Non-residential is 1, 2, 3%. Okay. So do take note that after 3%, there's not 3 and 4% differences. There's a formula for you to calculate this. Just remember this, guys. Calculations is not that important. It only stands 2 to 3% of your exam. Do take note on the regulations, the understanding, the HDB process, the resale process. All those are more important. The acts, the law, the regulations, the things to do right and wrong, the HDB processes, not the calculations. Calculation may be tested, but it will be a small percentage. So ABSD, do remember the percentage, but not to remember the calculations. Okay, briefly, I have never been tested. Luckily, I have never been tested under the ABSD. However, the ABSD have changed to different sorry, this is the wrong one. So they have changed it quite a lot. Do take note that all these have been changed. Go to your HDB website and look at it. I will not go through it. 20, I think this is 25 or 30% already. I think 25%. Okay guys, for this I will check again. I think if not wrong it's 20% or 25% already. They have changed quite a lot for the properties to buy. Okay, I'll go through now. ABSD, right? Okay, I check for us now. ABSD Singapore rate. I'll go through now. I'll check now. Okay. Aiyo. Where's my table? Guys, I go through here faster. Guys, we are waiting for it. We'll go through this. ABSD Singapore rate. Since we're here, you can find the information under IRAS, so don't tell me you don't know. So Singaporean 25%, 25, 30%, or 30% above, and 35% above. Okay guys, you see all the differences have changed, and comparing to my notes, I think there's a very big difference now. So this 25%. So even my notes are not updated, so do take note the differences. Oh, now my slides are hanging. So guys, any information you need, please check the IRAS. Even sometimes my notes could be wrong. You see, even this part are all wrong. I misunderstood the percentage already. So this is wrong, this is wrong. So this is 25%, this is 30%, this is 25%, 30, 30, 30, 35, 35, 35. So the ABSD have changed. You must understand by buying under what circumstances the ABSD have changed. What's the percentage briefly? Which are the country to have ABSD remission? In my school they teach us the SNEAL. The SNEAL is actually Switzerland, Norway, America, Iceland, and Liechtenstein. So these are the things that you must take note. Which are the citizens only, which is America. Citizen and PR are from the rest of the 5. ABSD to take note. If it's a joint purchase in one Singaporean and one foreigner, or one Singaporean and one SPR, the first property will still follow as a Singaporean with no need to pay ABSD. Only the second property onwards you have to follow the SPR or foreigners ABSD to leverage it and go more. So property that are not counted are property not in Singapore, en blocks, or gazetted to compulsory to remove back or by law act. So go read up yourself. All this in IRAS and your notes. ABSD payable, SSD payable. Okay, SSD payable are for the first 3 months. Also applicable for industrial and residential. SSD is applicable for residential and see, okay, so for this saying that for the first 3 years you're not allowed to sell away. For residential it's 12, 8, 4%. For industrial property it's 15, 10 and 5%. After that will be no GST payable. So do understand SSD and ABSD. How ABSD is refunded within the first how is it able to apply for refund. You have to sell the first property within 6 months, but however you have to pay the ABSD first and sell your first property within 6 months and reclaim back from the government IRAS. Okay, extension of SSD I will not go through, please read that yourself, there's too many things information. So I was talking about the holding period or industrial property 15, 10 and 5%. So stamp duty for tenancy agreement is the 0.4% of the whole total rental. This for private property, all these I will not go through, read it up yourself. Evading of stamp duty for mortgage, private property tax. Do take note guys, when is due to pay, it's payable from first month 31st Jan for every year for the whole property for the government owners to pay annually by the 31st Jan of every year. Any late payment 5% will be done. Do not remember the table. To me personally, do not remember the table for the property tax. However, remember how is it calculated. What is the annual value? Annual value will be the annual rental value minusing off the rental of furnitures and fittings and service charges. So after that, the property tax will be based on the annual value. So annual value, however, for vacate land is 5% of the freehold market price land value. Okay, so it's based on the gross value. How is it calculated? What is it going to be like? So for land is 5%. For do not just need to remember what is owner and occupied and not occupied. How it works. Property tax is tax levy charged on the immovable properties lah. So movable things are not. Who need to pay? Read it out yourself. Okay, any listing more than 3 years, receiver, trustee, agent or owners. So for valuation methods, guys, go into IRAS website, take a look at other valuation methods, like casino, hotels and contract testers. There are others. This could be tested also for your understanding. Valuation list, annual value, property tax, who is analyzing, chief analysis. Revaluation can be done annually. If you want to challenge it, valuation will be tested. You can challenge it. Any objections, you can reject it within the first 30 days, challenge it, reassess it. You get the whole process going from chief assessor to high court to court of appeal lah. So to me, don't remember the tax value. Don't remember this. Don't remember this, guys. No use one. I've never been tested lah. But do understand what is the owner's transaction consension. How are they can stop temporarily paying the tax? How can it refund? What is the remission of property tax? How can it be done? Under what circumstances? Okay, do remember all this, that all properties must be taxed. So for the commercial and industrial will be 10%. For land, 5%. For commercial, it will be 10%. So what is GST? Currently, it will be 7%. Coming 2023, it will be 8%. 2024 will be 9%. So do take note that the GST will be increasing for the past 3 years. Who is chargeable? All agents, all property will be chargeable. We are all chargeable. So all agents, what is the input tax or output tax? What's the supplies? What are the income tax charged on the rental income? What can be deducted from the rental income also? Okay. So rental income is chargeable for GST as income taxable. So when you have a rental of unit, you have an income tax for your rental, okay, for your property. So this is tested once. The expenses claimable for rental expenses, housing tax, property tax, all these 10s are testable. I have been tested before. So guys, going to the next part, property financing. So what kind of money that you can pay for your property? First 3 source: CPF, cash and loan. So this one, remember, do not remember the percentage of calculation. Remember what can be used and what's the percentage to be used, not the calculation. You do not need to calculate too much because it's 2 to 3%. It's about understanding of the exam. So HDB, private property, EC and residential, what are the source of calculation can be used? I will not go through. You guys go through yourself. So TDSR are bank only eligible for bank loans for private property, ECs, and commercial industrial. It's not eligible for HDB. Okay, TDSR is not eligible. So what is applicable? What is not applicable? How is it to be done? What's the industrial loan? Or go do it yourself. So TDSR is a total debt servicing ratio based on bank loan to residential. It will be based on your 60% of your income. And sorry, wrong already, guys. These have been changed to 55% already. A 30% haircut from the income variable income based on the income weight average ratio. Normally is based, the bank loan will charge you based on 3.5% residential rate, bank loan rate. A borrower must be the owner of the land. Must know the income weight average rate. How are they calculated? The formula, not the calculation, but know the formula. How is it calculated? This is easy, as you know that this is a very easy, because the calculating age is divided by the month. So CPF also must be a very crucial part, that what is the source of CPF, what is your retirement sum, BRS, basic retirement sum, and full retirement sum of 192k and 96k. So how you're going to use it, how much you're going to use it, why are you going to use it, after, before, and 55 years old. Understand between the valuation limit and the housing withdrawal limit. Okay, what is the difference? For new HDB is all no limits, but however it's based on HDB loan. Resale HDB, you can take HDB loan, however it's based on valuation limit. So for bank loans, it's based on valuation limit and housing loan limit. So do understand the CPF valuation limit. So how is it used? How many percent used? Housing withdrawal limit is bank loan only, but however it's 100% of the valuation, maximum 120% of the valuation limit. Oh, guys, you see so much information I'm giving you. So for the CPF HDB, okay guys, for the HDB loan, it will be 15%, first 15% cash and CPF, 85% by the HDB loan. So for bank loan, 5% will be cash, 20% CPF of cash, 75% bank loan. It can be used for monthly installment, buyer stamp duty, legal fee, and upgrading costs if needed. Purchasing only. For sellers, no. Seller stamp duty and legal fee must be paid by cash. So for private property, it's all based on the first loan. Private property only by bank loan. So it's 5%, 20%, and 75%. So monthly installment can be used for CPF, legal fee and stamp duty can be paid by CPF. But not for the loan for construction, not really. Must be approved lah before you can. You must pay by cash first and refund. So you cannot use CPF. CPF are not allowed to use for non-residential property anymore, and any property less than 20 years lease also not allowed to use CPF. So do understand that all the CPF loan is based on 85% now, the changes. Do understand how the formula for CPF usage and enhanced housing grant use. They're using this formula. You can remember the formula, but the calculation is not really applicable lah, most of the time. So financing of HDB loan, bank loans, right sizing, what's the minimum sale proceed, maximum sale proceed, who to pay off, who to keep. Please remember yourself. I will not go through this. So bank loan, MSR, TDSR 55%, MSR of 30%, bank interest rate of 3.5%, how many years? 25 year maximum for HDB loan, 65 years old. This is bank loan up to 30 years actually. You can go up to 30 years. Maximum of 35%. Okay, all guys, all this you should be expert in it already. HDB loans, what are the percentage? 85%, must have a house protection, a mortgage insurance, must have fire insurance of 5 years, must have an OA up to 100. You can use up to 100%. What are the return laws and regulation? What are the grants eligible? Guys, please take note on ECG 1, ECG, EHG. 2, housing grant. 3, proximity housing grant. You have 3 grants, okay? CPF enhanced housing grant, okay? So you have 3 grants. Family grant. Actually, this is a second one is a family grant. So remember all the 3 grants type. Okay, here 1, 2, 3. Okay. Remember the differences, how the table works, and how much grant you can get. Okay, it's quite straightforward. So proximity grant is with the parents and near the parents up to 30 or 40k. Okay, for resale only. So resale levy, do remember that it's for from HDB to HDB. So if from BTO to BTO or resale house to BTO, you have to pay the grant. As long as you take any grant from HDB or BTO, you have to pay for this. Okay. So for the loan, bank loan, I'm not gonna go through lah, guys. This one is inside your table. You can look through. For HDB loan eligibility is valid for 6 months. You must take it before having. You must apply for loan before buying the house loan. So guys, they only got 2 times HDB loan. 2 HLE in a lifetime. So loan offer. So for public scheme is one. Okay guys, this is fast QC. All these are additional notes. So developer purchase units, how eligible, all those I'm not going through. Okay guys, so for part 2 is done. I'm going very fast for part 2. I'm so sorry if you didn't catch any notes. If you need any inquiry or notes, please read up your website RES or go to HDB website, DB, CA, IRAS, CPF website, even for URA, SLA, all these are the eligible government sectors that are going to guide us through the exam. All these are tested. Take note, we are going to take action against this. Any other information, guys, please follow me at Facebook. My name, Royce Chen JP. IG also for the same ID. Or you can follow my Realtor Highs also. Realtor Highs. Okay. Or you can WhatsApp me at 87236688. I am doing this for a revision purpose only. There will not be anything else. Any comment below, you can go to my YouTube channel. Also the same. I'm also on the YouTube channel. Do follow me. I will be doing all my videos, guide guys how to pass your RES exam. Okay guys, that's all for today for paper 2 part 2. Too much information in, I know, but this is the exam criteria. Ciao you, have fun, bye.